What's up, friends? Genshin Impact drama video time. So if you have not already heard, Genshin Impact developers Mihoyo got caught gifting massive amounts of PRIMOGEMS secretly to select streamers and YouTubers. This reminds me of the Dungeon Hunter Champion days, right? Here is a clip to explain to you what I'm talking about.
Whoa! A gift from Paimon? 1,000 PRIMOGEMS? Did you guys get that? Wait, what? Wait, 2? Wait, what the? Oh, am I not supposed to share that? Wait.
So there's really two different parts of this situation. I do feel that it's important to break apart this into two different things. Number one is streamers, influencers, YouTubers gifted thousands of PRIMOGEMS, insane amounts of PRIMOGEMS that no one could possibly even consider buying for themselves, right? The second part is that it was don't show this to anyone, right? So I think that it's important to make a distinction of which, like, the two different parts separately instead of all together. First things first, I don't know how many different people were gifted. I don't know how many PRIMOGEMS each one of them was gifted. I don't know the situation there. I do know that Mihoyo is actually, I believe that they were actually very transparent up front. They were like, oh yeah, we have an influencer program, and if you sign up for this, because people can sign up for it, if they're influencers, in different ways that they can sign up for it. So there's actually, they also have one for cosplayers, if I recall correctly. So they have a separate form for streamers, separate form for YouTubers, separate form for cosplayers, and I think they have a fourth form for, I don't remember what the fourth form was for, but you can fill it out and be part of the content creator program. And I think that's all done through Mihoyo. That's just like transparent, like, yes, we're doing this. Another thing is, point number two is he was the person in the clip that I showed was gifted a whole whopping 2,000 PRIMOGEMS, which is equivalent to roughly $30 worth of PRIMOGEMS. Like, that's not a tremendous amount of people are talking about this like as if it's like a Maserati worth of PRIMOGEMS. Like, it's $30. $30 is really, like, in 2020 is really not that, well, in 2020, I don't know, some people scraping by, man. $30 to some people is a lot of money. $30 is, honestly, is not really, I don't feel like it's enough to really change someone's opinion on a game. It's like, $30, oh, I hate this game is garbage. You're gonna give me $30 worth of in-game currency? It's an amazing game! Well, everyone should buy and play and spend millions of dollars on doing that. Like, honestly, I think the streamer was big enough that he was actually probably gonna get, like, couple $100 worth of donations throughout the course of that stream. Like, he probably didn't even need the 2,000 PRIMOGEMS to begin with. It's kind of more of like a showing of appreciation from Mihoyo, like, thank you for helping to promote our game. Here's PRIMOGEMS. So that's kind of the first thing, is it really was not that much PRIMOGEMS. Also, I really want to point out, because I think a lot of people are not aware of how the industry works on the other side. There is so many games, so many devs that will give things to content creators, because for the most part, most content creators are not making a living off doing daily content on these games. They're not making a living off it, and they're spending their money that they're working their job for to do these things for these games, and they're spending money on things to make content with so that they can grow their channel. A lot of times they will spend the money and the channel's not even making as much money as they're spending, and they're like, okay, so I'm gonna spend all my money for this. And then, like, the devs, a lot of times they're like, you know, we appreciate that you are helping us promote the game. Here is something to give back so you don't have to spend your hard-earned money washing dishes at Chili's or whatever. I don't know, I just picked something. On our game, here's a little showing of appreciation. And this is a thing that I want you guys to understand, that a lot of people, I think, that are upset about this are probably coming from the PlayStation community and from the PC community, maybe. I feel like the PC community, like, should know a little bit better, but the PlayStation community probably doesn't know too much about it. Myself, I am coming from the mobile gacha game community. Like every gacha game, every mobile gacha game has something like this, where they give content creators currency, they give them whatever gems or currency or things in the game to show content, to do content on, to help them to just help them have the resources to be able to do content. This is extremely common. This is extremely common. Like, if you're gonna hate, I mean, if you're gonna hate on it, but hate on everything. Not just Mihoyo. Hate on like every mobile gacha game. Hate on every single one, because like every single one is doing it. Even ones you don't think are doing it, they're doing it. I guarantee. Like, this is pretty standard across the board for about a decade now. So people blowing things out of proportion just don't know that this is just something that has gone on for a decade, is that game developers give things to content creators to create content with. That's the big thing. I think the thing that's a little bit like of a bummer for me personally is, and I know people gonna screw you, Bagel. I don't care if they didn't give it to me too. I think it's the bigger thing is that they were like, oh, don't show this to anyone. Like, that kind of like, that stings me. I'm like, don't show this to anyone. Why don't you want to be transparent? Like, I feel like there should always be transparency in like what's going on. Like, we have a content creator program. We're gonna give things to content creators. We're making it very transparent that we're doing this, because it's a common thing. For 10 years now, it's a common thing. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years. Ever since the beginning of me doing it, this has been a thing. Ever since before I was doing it, this has been a thing. It's more so in the mobile community than anything else, but it's a thing. They also give early access to, a lot of times the early access is even more impactful than giving in-game currency. Because if you have early access to a game to play it like a month, 2 months, 3 months before anyone else gets to play it, you can get your content out immediately as soon as the game comes out, and you will be a master of like, and everyone has to come to you for content. Like, that is the thing. That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything else, when I'm like, I can't have access to this game, but like these other handful of people have access to the game. And no matter how hard I try, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this content when the game first releases to even be able to catch up to them. That sucks. That sucks on my part. So there's no way there's not going to be an even playing field. Great. Even if I spend money, great. Fantastic. See, I always want to be fully transparent with people, but I know as soon as I said and sponsor streams for Mihoyo, for Genshin Impact when it first came out, there's that group of people that are just going to be like, oh, then nothing you say has any value or holds any weight. Dislike the video, and I'm out of here. The thing that I want, and I totally understand that though. I totally understand that. The thing that I want to drive home though is I just want everyone to know. I'm not saying love Mihoyo. I'm not saying love Genshin Impact. Give them special treatment. I'm not saying that at all. The thing that I want people to understand is that this is pretty common practice for the past decade in mobile games, definitely, especially. And also a lot of other games, a lot of different PC games do things like this, and some console games do things like this. So if you are going to not like any content creator programs, then just don't like all of them. Then be mad at all of them for doing this, and just treat everyone equally. Treat every company equally. That's the kind of the first thing that or kind of the main thing that I want to say is this happens all the time. And I hope that everyone would know about it, and now I hope that you guys do know about it, that like this is just a common thing. This is really just a common thing. And number two, I don't know, I'm kind of I'm kind of bummed out about the whole like don't show people. I mean, I guess I understand because different people were getting different amounts of PRIMOGEMS, right? I think that's the situation there. And that's why they were like, they were mostly like, don't share this with other content creators because we don't want one to be mad that we gave more to the other one, because generally if they give one more to one than the other, it means like they're giving more PRIMOGEMS to like the first one because they have more viewers, more followers. So that's why that happens. But yeah, I think that's more what they meant by don't show anyone. And I really, honestly, I don't have too much of a problem with that personally. Of course you wouldn't, Pega. Well, I guess that's a valid argument, but the problem that I more have is just be transparent. Just like say, this is what was given to this person. This is what was given to that person. We give people things all the time. And this was nothing. Like, I know people are angry about this, but this was nothing compared to like the drama of some of the other games. Like there were other not even just one or two, multiple games. There were like a handful of other games where they would gift like extremely rare things to players that like even with money, because I mean, we're talking about $30 here for PRIMOGEMS with Mihoyo and with Genshin Impact. There were things that like you couldn't even buy for $5,000, $10,000 in other games. and they were just gifting some content creators them and be like, oh, I got lucky and I got this. And this happened in like a handful of different games. And a lot of times it's like we know about it on the back end. We're like, oh God, don't do that. You know, if people find out there's going to be drama, don't do that. Don't do that. No, like the ones of us that have been through the drama, and we're like, no, please don't, please. We've seen what happened with this other game that did that before. This is a bad idea. Please don't do that. And then they do that, and then there's drama. And then, but that's the thing that like, that's the real thing that I have a problem with is like just gifting people things and saying like, shh, here's this thing that like is super OP. I mean, there's even more drama that I don't want to get into more than that. Like we have a whole discussion, like 2-hour discussion about drama in this stuff. But anyway, yeah, the $30 in-app currency is not really, in my opinion, that's not really a big deal compared to some of the ridiculous drama that has happened in the past. Something that's more of standard operating procedure for the past 10 years is less on the, I feel is less of an even thing, less of the thing that I would get even worked up about compared to people getting gifted like $5,000, $10,000 items in games. So anyway, that's just my opinions on it. I know people are gonna dislike the video. I know people are gonna get pissed off because they're gonna be like, no, Bagel, everything is wrong. I'm like, I get it. It's 2020. It's 2020. If you've been on the internet anywhere in 2020, everyone hates each other and everyone's horrible people and everyone, all that stuff. So I'm just used to it by this point. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Though my biggest problem, my biggest actual problem with Genshin Impact is what is the deal with the servers? That's my biggest problem. Why? What is going on with the servers there? Like, I feel like there's like a giant dragon that's like coming in, breathing fire on the server. Now we're not even talking about the video anymore. But seriously, what's going on with the servers? That's my biggest concern because the server thing is pissing me off. Anyway, that's it for this one. I will see you as always in the next one.